So we begin chapter 27. Chapter 26, we started a new section, how to deal with what let's call curveballs in our lives. When things go straight, then we respond in a straight way, as we did in the first 25 chapters that we learned. But what happens when a curveball comes and things in our mundane or spiritual life are challenged? Health challenges, relationship challenges, difficulties in livelihood, or our spiritual standing. So we dealt with that yesterday in chapter 26. Today we deal with hihurim, thoughts, unwanted, undesirable thoughts, thoughts that stem from of a sadness, not over anxiety for doing wrong, for doing something sinful, but thoughts that don't occur to you during your divine service, right? Negative thoughts, thoughts that are not a healthy thought to have. So the natural feeling is, if you are someone who cares about your divine service, then, well, you're going to be saddened. You're going to be downtrodden, right? You're going to feel, wow, here I'm in the middle. Okay, no, we're not talking about in the middle of learning Tanya or in the middle of prayers. That will be the next chapter. We're talking now in the middle of your day, of whether it's at work, whether it's during a meal, or whatever it is, you kind of feel saddened by a thought that comes to you, a sinful thought that comes to you, and it brings you down. Now, it brings you down because of the sinfulness, but it can also bring you down because, like, oh, how come this thought's coming to me? So the Alter Rebbe says that actually we should be happy in that thought. We shouldn't be sad. On the contrary. Why should you be happy when a negative thought comes in, a sinful thought comes into your mind? Right? An unwanted thought. The Alter Rebbe says, because now you can fulfill a mitzvah. In the third chapter of the Shema that we say twice a day, at least, there's a phrase that says, that says, you shall not follow after your heart and after the eyes by which you go astray. So the Alter Rebbe says, well, this verse in the Torah is not speaking to the righteous, because the righteous, as we've learned, their heart will not lead them astray, that their hearts feel, their desire in the heart will come up to to ponder about things that are, inappropriate, wrong thoughts, sinful thoughts, which is whether it's a negativity about another person, whether it's, an image of something that brought, an unmodest image that brought a immodest thought. So the Alter Rebbe is saying, be happy, because now you can fulfill a mitzvah. Because the Torah tells us, is speaking to the Beinoni, the one who struggles with negative thoughts, with sinful thoughts that come to them. And what is the Torah telling us? Avert your mind from it. That way you can first and foremost fulfill the mitzvah that the Torah tells us. The Torah gives us this particular mitzvah. Again, it's not for the righteous, it's for you and I and for a Beinoni. And our sages say something interesting, that by, you're not really doing anything, you're just averting your mind from what that negative thought that is in your mind. Our sages add something interesting, that even though it's a passive thing, in other words, you're just removing something from your mind, but that's considered as if you've done a real action. And therefore you need to be joyful in the fact that you've fulfilled a command of God, as if you did something positive. So not only should you not be grieving over the negative thought that comes into your mind, but it actually should bring you joy, because now you can fulfill what God wants and needs from you. This is actually a very powerful idea.